again, this is Nahid from Syntron Media, and today is another lesson on Google Tag Manager. So today we're going to learn how we can integrate our Shopify store with Google Tag Manager, and then we can create various e-commerce tags such as page view, content view, add to cart, initiate checkout, and purchase in Google Tag Manager, and send all that event data to our Facebook's pixel through integration of Metapixel and Conversion API with our Shopify store. So let's dive into it. So here is our Shopify store, and we're going to first establish a connection between our Google Tag Manager and our Shopify store. So as you can see, I have already created an account for our Shopify store. Let's go to, yes, this is our store's homepage. So to create an account on Google Tag Manager for your Shopify store, what you need to do is go to Google Tag Manager. This is Google Tag Manager home. In case you do not have any previous accounts on your Google Tag Manager, this would look like. Let me show you what it may look like. So when you do not have any account created in your Google Tag Manager, the home interface would look something like this. And then you start creating account. So for your store, you need to put an account name. It could be any name that helps you keep track of this account. Then your country and your container name. The container name would be better if you put in your website's URL. So I have created necessary containers in my Google Tag Manager already. Let's take it from there. So as I was saying, this is my store, viralbystracking.myshopify.com, and for this I have created a Google Tag Manager account with a similar name, viralbystracking, my Shopify. For it I have created a web container and a server container. So how do you create a container? If you go into creating a container, just put in the container name. Let's say this is the name of my web container. So it would be helpful if you take your website's URL and just modify it a little bit to create your container. And as you can see, for the web container, I have put in the word web at the end of it. For server container, server at the end of it. So now let's get inside our web container and see how we can start integrating our Shopify store. So to integrate our Shopify store with Google Tag Manager, the traditional process would be copy pasting these codes in our Shopify sites. In our Shopify website's code base. Here, right after the exactly. So right after the opening head tag, if you can see it, right after the opening head tag, we have to add our Google Tag Manager script. I've already added it, so you can see that the Google Tag Manager script is there, and it is recognizing my web container, which has this ID M3BZ4 or WD44. You can see it here. N3BZ44. Now, how do we put in our Google Tag Manager's web container identity code snippet in our Shopify stores code base? We need to go to our Shopify admin.shopify.com/store. That is our store name. Here we're going to edit our theme. So to get access to our theme, we click on Sales Channels. In Sales Channels, under Sales Channels, we have Online Store. In Online Store, you have Themes. Click on Themes. Just beside this Customize button, you have a three-dot menu. Click on it. You can see the Edit Code. If you click on this Edit Code option, you are taken straight to your code editor. In code editor, what you need to do is create. So first, let's get familiar with the code editor. On the left panel, you see various folders. These folders are broad categories of all the codes which make up your website. You have the layout, that is the basic layout structure of your website. You have various templates. This is where you put in the themes. And then you have various sections, snippets. Snippets are basically stuff like this, small pieces of code. In this case, JavaScript code. And you have other elements like your assets, configuration. Not elements, sorry. You have other bits of codes. So where we need to go is inside snippets and press on Add New Snippet. Then put in this ultimate data layer in the name field and create a new snippet. So I already have that ultimate data layer .liquid created. So once you have finished creating this new code snippet file called ultimate data layer, you can go to this link. I will provide this link in the description of the video. Ultimate data layer.liquid. Click on this copy icon and just paste it here. So I have already done it, so I'm not going to save it again. Instead, if I go back, leave page without saving, and get back to the code editor again. Then you need to make another change. We have pasted this ultimate data layer.liquid code in our snippets section. Now we need to go to our layout section and click on this theme.liquid. In this theme.liquid file, we will need to add another code. And I will put this code in the description as well. So you just copy this code and paste it right after the opening head tag. As you can see, this is the opening head tag, and I have already pasted it here. The same code, Google Tag Manager, script, function, WESLI, that same code is here. Google Tag Manager and Google Tag Manager. The only thing you need to change is when you paste this code first, it will show up like this. As you can see here, after GTM, this is the Google Tag Manager container ID is all 0000. You need to change this value the ID value in your Google Tag Manager container, web container, which you are trying to connect with. As you can see, I've just copied it from here and pasted it. What the value used to be 0000 something. And how do you find this code? So once you have created your web container, you will find this available in your workspace right here. This is your Google Tag Manager container ID. If you click on it, you will see the code snippets you need to integrate any website with your Google Tag Manager container. And this first code snippet you have to add right between the opening and closing head tag in your website's code base, and this part you have to add after the body tag. So let me show you where the body tag exists. In case of the Shopify connection and the way I'm doing it, you don't really need to put it in your need to put in the body tag. This body tag would be useful if we're using other platforms, let's say Vue.js or totally JavaScript based website, or maybe some other custom website. So let's not bother about it right now. We have created the integration already. So that's it. That's all you need to do in your code editor. We're done here. We will get out of our code editor and go into settings. In settings, we need to go to checkout. In checkout, if you scroll down, you will see this space for additional scripts. In this field, you need to add another code. And why is that? So this code, ultimate-datalayer.liquid, this could have been sufficient. This is not. This is insufficient because it does not include the codes for any event after add to cart. Let me show you. So events after this code. So this code file only contains codes to track events up to begin checkout, but it does not include the code for tracking purchase event. So for purchase event, we need to add another code to our Shopify website's admin, that is checkout.liquid, and I will provide the link to this code in the description as well. So you just click on the copy icon and go to our Shopify admin dashboard. We have already clicked on settings and we have come to checkout. Scroll down and just copy paste the code here. Once you have copy pasted it, you need to add the same as before. You need to add your Google Tag Manager web container ID right here. The top portion of the code will be the same as this one. The code to integrate Google Tag Manager with your website. So by default, it wouldn't have your Google GTM web container ID. So you need to just copy and paste that GTM web container ID right about here, and then save it. So I've already done it. I'm not going to change this. Okay, now that's done. We are going to go into our payment section. And in payment section, we will set up the bogus gateway. Well, you will find this bogus gateway when you are testing your Shopify site. In case you don't have the bogus gateway option available, you can use discount. I'll show you how in just a second. So I'm using bogus gateway for payment, and it will remain activated. As you can see, I have activated it so that when I test events like purchase on my Shopify store to check if event data is getting to my Facebook's Pixel and Google Analytics 4 and wherever else I want to send it to, maybe Google Ads. I just want to make sure that event data is getting sent. And for that, I don't want to create any sort of payment events using actual payment methods like my credit card or PayPal, etc. So for testing, you have this bogus gateway. You'll find it in payment section of settings. In case you are working on a let's say paid plan or an actual theme you have bought in your Shopify, and you may not have this bogus gateway. In that case, you can go into discounts and just create a discount. In creating a discount, select amount of order. So after selecting this, create any code. Let's say totally free. Totally free. That is my code, and discount value would be 100%. 100%. And do we need to change anything else? No, that's it. And you can just save this discount. Also, you need to create one more discount. That is free shipping, to ensure that you can test your purchase events and is not obstructed, because even though you have removed the order cost with the order amount discount, you will still see you'll still see the shipping charge in your checkout page when you're trying to test a purchase event, because that shipping amount would depend on the address to which you are trying to send the product. Just remember, for now, you require to create a shipping discount as well. And in the shipping discount code, just put in any name, free shipping. Also, once you've created these two discount codes, you can combine them. Here you can see combinations. Free shippings can be combined with order discounts. So when you have selected this and created a order discount coupon, let me show it to you. That might be faster. So I've created a free shipping discount, save discount, that's it. And I will create another discount. Create discount, amount of order, discount code is totally free, that is 100%. Shipping discounts in combinations, totally free can be combined with shipping discounts. Then save this discount. Now what you can do is set to combine. So you can now, let's say we go into free shipping or totally free, and here we're going to shipping discount we have created. Click on this combinations part, get to this combinations part, click on this order discounts. One order discount is set to combine. Remember the order discount we have already created, and just click on it, then press done. So what happens now is that when you're making a purchase, you can put in both these discounts together. And so you can have a totally free 100% off your order amount and get rid of the shipping charges as well. It would help you make your test purchase events. I'll just delete all these discounts, or maybe not. Maybe I'll show you how to test your purchase events using these discounts later on. Okay, now let's go and start creating our tags in the Google Tag Manager container. So I already have a GA4 tag created here. That is not the topic of today's lesson. We are only going to talk about Facebook today. Let's begin. First of all, I need to create a few variables. So how do you create these variables? Okay, before creating these variables, let's just connect our Facebook pixel with our Shopify store. So to connect our Shopify store with our Facebook pixel, let's go into our events manager. From the bunch of pixels we already have created, we are going to select viral by tracking Shopify. I've already connected this pixel with my Shopify store once, and then removed it to show it show in this video how it's done really. So we go into the settings, and in case you do not know how to create a Facebook pixel, you can refer to my other videos. Or I'll just create a completely new video on just about how to create a pixel and conversion API and integrate it with various partners and etc. For now, we are going to go with a pixel which remains already created, and we're going to go into the settings section of this pixel. In the settings section, click on this dataset IP. It will be copied to clipboard. Then we go back to our Google Tag Manager web container. Here we're going to create a constant variable. I already have this created. Let me show you how you can do it. So in your GTM web container, go to variables, then in user defined variables, click on new, click on variable configuration, and you will see an option under utilities constant. So if you select constant, what is it? A variable is any bit of information which gets dynamically sent to your Facebook's pixel. Dynamically gets sent to here. Like, let me show you a pixel that is functional already. All this event data, page view content, add to cart, etc. This is being sent from your store to Facebook's pixel. And to make sure that you get the necessary information along with all these events, you would want to create variables. So variables are small bits of data which keep changing, and you can send these data pieces along with your event data to the Facebook's pixel. In case of the Facebook pixel ID, this will remain the same for a single GTM web container. So it will be a constant. You select the variable type as constant and just put in the Facebook ID here. So I have one created already. Let's see if they match. Yes, this is the same dataset ID or pixel ID as the one I have in this variable. So as you can see, I named it Facebook pixel ID. Leave it like that. And now we're going to integrate our first Facebook pixel event. Our first event that will be sent to our Facebook pixel from our website using Google Tag Manager. So let's go into tags. By the way, in case you do not know what is an event, simply put, an event is any interaction a user takes on your website. So if I go to my website, first thing we do when we go to any website is either put in the URL in our URL bar, or we click on a link and we get to the website's landing page. The web page which gets open with the URL we have clicked on or pasted in our URL bar, in our browser's URL bar. So when we get to our landing page, as you can see, the page is loading here. Once the page loads in your browser, any web page loads in your browser, it's called a page view event. So the first thing we do is make sure that we're sending page view events to our Facebook pixel. Whenever a visitor has viewed our website on their browser, a page view event would be sent to our Facebook's pixel. To do that, we need to just create the basic pixel code integration in our Google Tag Manager. So how do we do it? We can do it in using multiple methods, just like I showed you. You have a JavaScript code snippet to integrate Google Tag Manager web container, GTM web container with your website. You can copy this code and just paste it in your website's code base. You can do the same with your Facebook pixel. Facebook pixel provides you with a code. And let's see if we go to continue setup and click on oh, that's not the option here. If we go on to let's say a different pixel. Okay, the code base is not being shown anywhere. This is not it. This is not it. So let's see. So when you create a new pixel, an interface like this shows up, and you can just click on this button, copy the code, and paste it like I showed you in your Shopify admins. Code editor. You just need to come to this theme.liquid file and paste your pixel code right after this opening head tag. But we're not going to use this traditional method because there are multiple issues. One is that whenever your website loads, let me show you. So whenever your website loads, this code base, which is called document object model, loads in the user's browser. For example, right now I'm the user who is visiting this website by stacking, and I can visit the website using a browser. This is my browser, Google Chrome. In my browser, I'm going to put the website's URL in the URL bar, and once I press load, first the document object model, the code base of the website's front end will load in my browser. Because these codes are loading, I'll get to see all the elements, the icons, text, and images the website's interface was created with. Not website, the correct term is the web page. So every time we are loading a URL on our browser, we are getting to see a single web page. So in this web page, if we put in an extra tag like extra code snippet like the Facebook pixels base code, like this, it will take a little bit of extra time for this document object model code to load, and it will make our website a bit slower. And that's not all. Due to various browsers like Apple's Safari having intelligent tracking protection and people using cookie blockers all over the place, these tags get blocked often. These code snippet, like I can add the Facebook pixel code snippet here, then I can add TikTok pixel has its own code snippet. Let me show you. See, all these code snippets, if I just keep adding to my website's document object model, which used to be the standard practice previously, but it not only slows your website down, but at the same time, it's easier to block it using cookie blockers or intelligent tracking protection on various browsers. So we're not going to use that method. We will use the smart method of using Google Tag Manager. So in Google Tag Manager, we don't need to copy paste any of the pixel code. We just created our variable. This constant variable with our Facebook pixel ID, we go to our tags, press on new, press on tag configuration, and here we need to click on. You can see that what is this? This is the template gallery. These are various snippets of codes. If you go into this gallery, let me show you how this works. So this is called the template gallery. In the template gallery, you can find various code snippets which have already been created by other developers and added to the Google Tag Manager template gallery. So Under the custom section, you can see the Facebook pixel template. We're going to use this one. But when you first get inside your GTM web container in your tag and your template gallery, you will not find this one. So you will have to click on this, discover more tag types in community template gallery, find Facebook pixel, click on it, and not this one, Facebook pixel. Click on it. Here it shows the choose template button because I have already added this to my workspace. But when until you have added this to your workspace, the button will say something like this: add to workspace. So you find the Facebook pixel button and just add it to your workspace, and then select Facebook pixel. Here we need to put in the Facebook pixel ID. So we can either bring it from our events manager, click on dataset, copy to clipboard, and just paste it here. We are not going to do that because we have created a constant variable containing the Facebook pixel ID. Why did we create it? Because in a bunch of places we would require to put in the same Facebook pixel ID. So you just type in 2-second brackets and all the variables which are available in this web container, in this GTM web container, will show up here. You can just put in ID, as I have named it Facebook pixel ID. All the variables with ID in their names will show up. Select Facebook pixel ID here, the standard event page view, and you don't need to change anything else right here. All you need to do is click on the triggering. Okay, so after clicking on triggering, just select all pages. So what is happening here? Any page of your website, let's say this website, no matter which page, shop all page, or any single product page, or your home page, whenever a page of your website is viewed by a visitor, as the web page loads on your visitor's web browser, you will be able to get a event fire. You will be able to get a tag fire and send the event data to your Facebook pixels event manager. So let's see if it works for us or not. We have created the tag, connected the trigger. Now let's name it. We're going to name the tag. We can call it FB configuration tag, or we can even call it the page view tag. Now just save it. After saving it, we're going to test and make sure that it works. Press on preview. So to check it, you will need an extension, a Chrome extension. This extension is called Pixel Helper. Pixel Helper. So with this Chrome extension, you can see if a pixel is integrated with any website and what pixel events are, or what event data is being sent to your to a certain Facebook pixel. Let me show it to you how it works. So now that we are in the preview mode, this is our tag assistant. Tag assistant will show us what is the condition of all the tags we have set up in our Google Tag Manager in various containers. So this is the tag assistant for our web container. All the tags, when they fire in our on our website, would show up in this tag assistant. And the pixel helper extension I was talking to you about, this is the pixel helper extension. As you can see, it shows you the pixel which is integrated on your website. You see the pixel ID, it matches our pixel ID. So we know which pixel is connected to our website. Also, we can see a single event. So on this web page, we have this page view event integrated. Every time this event takes place, the tag we created in our Google Tag Manager called every page view tag gets fired and data is sent to our events manager. And to make sure that events manager, the pixel in our events manager is getting data properly, we would have to test. We have to use this tool called test events. We often keep testing from both our GTM preview, using both our GTM preview and the events manager test events. So here, to make sure that everything is working properly, we click on confirm your website's events are set up correctly. Enter website URL. Let's go to our website. Press it here, paste it here, open website. Unfortunately, we see that the metapixel helper is not picking up any response from the tag being fired. So how do we fix it? We have to go into our server container. In our server container, we need to create. Remember, we created two containers in our Google Tag Manager account, the web container and the server container. So we now go to our server container. In our server container, we need to create a tag. And this tag would, we are going to create this tag using a community template. So, and this is the tag. The custom tag is called Facebook Conversion API. This tag would also not be available in our default workspace. So we would have to go to our community template gallery and select Facebook Conversion. As you can see, Facebook Conversion API. Now, what happens is when you search with conversion, you will find multiple templates created to do the same job basically. Facebook Conversion API created by state.io. You have Conversions API tag created by Facebook Incubator. Both of them work. I use the state.io template because later on you'll see when I'm using a tagging server URL to store all my event data, I'll be using this platform called state.io. So that will come in later. As I have already added this template to my workspace, I've just selected. Here we put in the necessary information to connect our pixel to server side as well. So in events, go to settings, click on this dataset ID, which is basically our pixel ID, and put it in the Facebook pixel ID space. And under the test ID, you will find that for you to conduct tests on whether your Facebook's pixel is getting event data sent from your website or not, using this test events tool, you will have to add this test event code to your GTM server container. GTM server container, Facebook conversion API tag. So let's paste this test ID here and API access token. Where do we get it? So if you go into your settings section, we can find it in our overview section as well, but let's not do it here. Go to our settings section. Let's keep things simpler. We go to this section, conversions API, and set up direct integration. Copy and save this token somewhere safe. Just copy it. Because I have already generated this token is showing up here like this. Unless you click there will be a button here called generate token. Once you click it, you will see the token show up here. So paste the token here. In triggering, I'm going to use CAPI. And let's call it CAPI. That is Facebook Conversions API. One more thing, this trigger, I'm calling CAPI or Conversions API, is not a default trigger. You do not find it by default in your GTM server container. So you would have to click on New, select this custom option, and you can choose all events. I rather suggest that, because we do not need to send every single event to our Facebook's pixel, we're more concerned with the specific e-commerce events like page view, content view, add to cart, etc. So you select some events, click on event name, and equals, you can use equals. So our event name is page view. Name it and save it. That's exactly what I did. Let's modify the event a little bit. Save. And here we are, tags. Now, let's preview it. What is happening here, folks? Oh, by the way, another issue. Because I have the server container URL, which basically creates the tagging server for our GTM server container. So what is the tagging server? Tagging server is a cloud-based container where you put in all the event data. All this event data you are sending to your pixel. You are going to want to store it in some place you can keep control of. So because Facebook only keeps all this data for 180 days and that removes it all. If you want to keep track of all your event data and use it even for a longer period of time, for example, Google Analytics can keep using event data as old as 2 years, as old as from 2 years ago. So you need a place to store all your event data. Where do you place it? In a cloud container. You can use the Google Cloud Platform. I'm using state.io because it's cheaper and the interface is much simpler. In case you do not have an account already created, you just need to sign up. Put in an email. If you are inside EU, select EU, or European Union area, select EU or anywhere else in the world, click on global, just check this mark, terms of usage and privacy notes, and then sign up. So I already have created an account. I'm going to just sign in. So here in state.io, what we need to do is create an GTM container. That is simply server-side Google Tag Manager container. Create container. Container name would be, let's keep the name simple. Just copy our server container name and the container configuration. Why do you get the container configuration? When you go to your server container in the workspace, you will see the same type of ID show up as we have seen our web container, but as you can see, this ID is different for the server container and the web container. So let's click on the server container ID and you'll see there is an option for manually provisioning it. You need to copy this container configuration code. Go to your state.io container creation interface, paste it in the container configuration, server's location. So you want to choose a server which is closest to the server which is hosting your website. So in my case, as I'm from Bangladesh and I'm hosting my Shopify website in a server somewhere close to Bangladesh, I would want to do the same for my tagging server container to ensure that the data transfer rate is really fast between them. Let's get closest to Bangladesh, which would be India. Create container. Container with this configuration already exists. Please use a new configuration. In that case, what we're going to do is just create a new server container. So let's do it fast. We would first want to remove the tag which contains our pixel ID. So there should be no scope for conflict between different tags from different server containers. Now that we have deleted the tag, let's go to our Google Tag Manager home, go to our My Shopify, where by starting My Shopify account. In this account, we want to delete this server container. So in container settings, click on this three-dot menu and delete the server container. But the moment you delete it, it gets automatically transferred to the trash can and it takes GTM about 20 days to completely, permanently delete it. Now we're going to create another new server container for under this account, under this GTM account. Create container. This is going to be named same as the previous one. This is a server container. Create. Once we've created the server container, you see this box pops up. You can find this box by clicking on this server container ID as well. What does it say? You can automatically provision the tagging server if we click on this button. The tagging server would be created in Google Cloud Platform. Like I said, it's really complex and more expensive, so we're not going to use GCP. We're going to manually provision the tagging server. So click on this, your container configuration key from here. Let's go to our state.io interface and just complete creating our container. Select free, continue with free plan. Make sure to uncheck this, or your container will start upgrading to next tier automatically, and you'll have to pay for this plan. Now continue with free plan. Click on back to SGTM. Is our container ready? It is being verified. We just scroll down and click on this domain name. Copy this. We need to go back to our server container, GTM server container. Click on admin. In container settings, we just need to add this URL. Is the URL correct? Save it. It's done. Go to workspace. We're going to create a trigger first. Custom trigger for some events. Which events? Equals page view, and we are calling it if event is the CAPI. Save it. Let's go to our tags. Click on new. See, there is no Facebook conversions template here. Go to your community template gallery, search for it. So you see now why I selected the Facebook Conversion API template from state.io instead of Facebook Incubator, because the tagging server URL I'm using is hosted on state.io. So let's click on it. Just press add to space. Click on add. And now we have to add the API access token again. Add the dataset ID and the test event ID. Just add our Facebook Conversion API trigger. What else? We can name it. Save. Click on preview. This time, as you can see, the preview page is showing up. Now, in our events manager, we want to make sure that Facebook Pixel has been integrated properly with our website using Google Tag Manager, and both from browser side as well as server side, we will be getting event data sent from our website to our Facebook's Pixel using Google Tag Manager. Now, click on Open Website. Why isn't it showing up? Why isn't it showing up? Facebook Pixel ID, all pages. What are we missing? Do we have the same event ID? Sorry, Facebook Pixel ID. Let's make sure we do. Page view event. submit and publish it, continue. If we submit and publish it as well, continue. So in case of, we're going to be checking the preview mode from our Google Tag Manager as well. So this is working fine in our tag assistant. The tags are not being fired from our server side. So we need to create another tag in our web container to establish connection between our web container and our server container. So that tag would be something like this. It's going to be a Google tag. In this Google tag, we're going to put a tag ID that we take from our Google Analytics account. Configuration settings, nothing. Advanced settings, nothing. Shared event settings, nothing. Add parameter. The same tagging server URL from state.io, just paste it here. Collect a few more. Create a few more parameters. Okay, let's save it. Go for preview. And the CAPI tag is firing now. So in that case, we're going to go into our events manager. And the data is showing up in our events manager as well. So these steps to integrate your Facebook pixel, these steps to integrate first your Shopify website with your Google Tag Manager, and then using your Google Tag Manager, integrating your Facebook pixel with your website, so that any sort of event data, and specifically in this case, we're concerned with e-commerce related event data, is sent from your website straight to your Facebook's pixel. What we did is pasted a couple of code files into the code editor of our Shopify website, and for purchase, in the checkout section, additional scripts of our Shopify website's admin dashboard. Then we created a Facebook page view tag. We created a server container with a Facebook conversion API tag. We created a place to store our event data on state.io. This is called a server-side GTM or Google Tag Manager container. And we created a GA4, that is Google Analytics 4 configuration tag. That is a Google tag which connects our web container to our server container. So that's it for today's lesson. In subsequent lessons, we will be learning more about how to create all the necessary e-commerce event tags for our Shopify store, and how to get deduplicated data from our Shopify store to our events manager, so that we get the same event data like add to cart, page view, or even purchase from both browser side and from the server side, sent from our website to our Facebook pixel. But they do not double count. That's where deduplication comes in. So we are sending data from multiple sources to make sure that cookie blockers or intelligent tracking protection on various browsers do not stop us from getting the event data from our browser to our Facebook pixel. But at the same time, we want to avoid having double count of these important events like add to cart or purchase. Okay, so see you later on our following lessons. Like and subscribe so that you can easily view any of our new videos when I am able to upload them. Bye for now.